We'll start the session. Oh. 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 सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारि मृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Hari Om. I will just share the Bhagavatam. Okay. So, we were looking at the story of Shunashepa. It was a story of Harishchandra and his young boy. We will start from this page. So Kaushika adopted Sunashepa as his own son and told his sons Madhuchandas by name that they should treat him as their elder brother. He belongs to the Bhrigu clan, said the father. He is now one of you. So now this Shunashepa was a young boy who was given away, sold away by his father. He was the middle son, not the elder one, not the younger one, but the middle son. And he was sold because now Rohita, knew that it was, he had to be actually sacrificed because Harishchandra had taken, he had prayed and but to Varuna, and Varuna had told him that you will get the son, but you will have to give him back to me. But Harishchandra, does he make some excuse after another, and he does not do that. Now, Rohita asks for the Sunashepa because he says otherwise our lineage will end right here. So you give your son. But when Shunashepa was going to be sacrificed, Vishwamitra, that is Kaushika, he teaches him a verse. When he starts chanting that verse, he is protected. When they were getting ready to sacrifice him, the young child began to sing in his childish treble the hymns taught to him by Kaushika. The Yajnashala was silent, first with surprise and then with admiration for the noble hymns which were in praise of the Devas, Indra, Varuna and others. Indra was pleased and so was Varuna, and they appeared in person and granted long life to Shunashepa. Now, it's such a wonderful trick, right? They come there and they bless him with long life. You have pleased us with these prayers and we grant you long life. So now the king was forgiven for his lapse. Harishchandra was forgiven for his lapse, and he was cured of his disease also because he had not fulfilled his promise. He was under the, he had some name it was given. It could have been leprosy, something like that. It was a different name. I don't know what that kind of illness is also. The experiences he had gone through because of his excessive attachment to his son had taught him a lesson, and Harishchandra wanted to learn Brahma Vidya from Kaushika. Kaushika was only too happy to do so. Harishchandra was a changed man after this. So now we see the way he is. Kaushika is in a way transforming. We can see his transformation from a king who wanted to have that Kaushika, he wanted to have that cow for Shabala to himself, and he takes it through improper means, almost grabs it from Vashishta and fights for it. Then he realizes that he is not powerful enough, so he goes on to do tapas, and he thinks having lots of astras will make him powerful. He fights with that also, but even then he knows he's not as powerful as Vashishta. He understands the power of Brahmavidya. He understands that Brahmavidya is far more superior than any of these astras or the might of a king. And then he goes on to do tapasya. That is his first realization. Realization is in that the power is not in what I have, what I own, in me being a king. The power is in knowing that Supreme Brahman. So he starts seeking it, but then it is a difficult process. He is failing first, right? He falls. He thinks, okay, now he becomes a Raja Rishi, and then he gives Trishanku. He wastes all his tapas in trying to satisfy an improper desire. Somebody's improper desire. That viveka also is needed. What to be granted, what not to be granted. Even when we look around, there are so many beggars around. We do dana. We do dana dharma, we say. But we must make sure they're not going and drinking after that with that money, right? How it is being used. So more righteous ways, he will say, at least whether he has eaten, but doesn't matter. At least I will get him food. I will get you food. Will you eat? If they say no, you know that something's wrong. They'll say, no, you don't give. You give me money. No, I'll give you food. Otherwise, I'm not giving you anything. There's a parcel. I have already eaten now. Give me lunch. Okay, and then they'll come and demand also, one dosa, one puri. But it's okay. That is their hunger. You're at least, it is not going in the wrong way. And when you're giving food, at least they will say enough. In our life also, we need to, at regular points, say enough with our desires. Notice that is contentment. When I say, it's enough what we have. So an improper desire he had. I want to go Trishanku, and he goes to so much lengths to send him, and he still sent down. Vashishta has told no. So now he wants to feel more powerful than Vashishta. So he thinks this is the way to feel power. By granting other people what they wish, I can feel powerful. But that didn't happen. And Trishanku, also for his wish, his desire was fulfilled, but he was in one Trishanku Swarga, stuck only. It's in a place that is stuck somewhere. And then he goes on to, now you can see the transformation slowly. He's moving inwards, but a little gradually. Now he is, with Sunashepa, he is teaching the BrahmaVidya to Harishchandra. And Kaushika adopted Sunashepa as his own son. He teaches him, nice, no? The Sunashepa, he teaches him something which helps him overcome Varuna's this thing, and he gets blessed. So he has saved. Kaushika now adopted Sunashepa as his own son and told his sons Madhuchandas by name that they should treat him as their elder brother. He belongs to the Brigu clan, said the father. How he is now one of you. The elder sons were not happy at the thought of the adoption of the father, angry at their behavior, cursed them to be lowborn, and then 50 of them were cursed. The other 50 sons, led by Madhuchandas, fell at his feet and said, "We are willing to obey you in everything. We are only too happy to accept Sunashepa as our elder brother." Now, the father naturally was very pleased with them and said, "I am pleased with you. You are good sons. Let by this new son of mine, you will be known as the Kaushikas and our house." So in this way, there is still a Rajasic element, right? Even in his fatherhood, there is still a Rajasic element. Those who are obeying me are good children. Those who are not obeying me, I will give you something. You will be now known as the Kaushikas, and our house will be famed all over the world by Kaushik. But there is a slight Rajasic nature here. For him to curse the sons who did not accept this, isn't it? Now Kaushika continued his tapas for another 1,000 years. At the end of it, Brahma appeared before him and said, "We are pleased and amazed by your tapas. We are pleased to confer on you the title of Rishi. From Raja Rishi, now he has become a Rishi." Kaushika was not satisfied with this. It was not enough for him. A Rishi, he knew, was far inferior to the title Brahma Rishi. He was determined to achieve the status of Brahmarshi, and he pursued his tapas more intensely. See, dissatisfaction is the mother of what would you say? Mother of curiosity, mother of hard work, consistency, perseverance. If he had told enough, "Oh, I am a Rishi, enough," whatever God has said. So where do we say enough and where do we not say enough? There is a clear distinction here. Where do we say enough? Enough for worldly things, worldly affairs, material things. But when it comes to spiritual sadhana, we keep working towards that perfection. Steadily, the more intensely we do, The more focus, the more concentration, the better the result, just as in the material world.
And
in fact, people who are like that, very persistent in the material world, may become very persistent in the spiritual world also, because even there. So it is possible, or many people just don't relate to the worldly thing, but the spiritual thing, they will really strongly follow that. And some don't have any spiritual interest and follow everything in the material world. But here, his Rajasic nature is being guided, or he is very smartly turning it to become more established within himself, to become a Brahma Rishi, to attain the highest.
Yeah, this is an interesting point that Aarti brought out. So the discrimination here is putting our complete, the Paurusha, no, the self-effort towards something that brings fulfillment. We all are in search of that. Yeah, we are in search of peace, whether we are aware or not, right? Whatever action we do. So when there is that basic knowledge that anything limited, when I put that fulfillment on that, it will not fetch fulfillment. It is a very temporary thing. Yeah. So anything that is nourishing this little ego, that is what is worldly. Worldly, anything that is nourishing this little ego. So Swami says in many places in Bhagavad Gita commentary, put fast the ego. No fasting. Ego must be fasted. That is one very important thing. It has to learn its lesson. I mean, okay, there's no ego as such. That's all. In the very first thing is, so the fasting of ego can happen with this discrimination. We know, okay, anything that is bringing very temporary fulfillment, anything limited, which is nourishing my ego. So to that, effort is not, channelized at all. The effort is completely channelized where the ego thins, where the ego dissolves, where the thought streams are in something else. That is why we say, right, from selfish to, even in your book, you have Gurudev Chinmayananda's, all his, the
Ledger.
children's story, from the me,
Ledger.
mine,
Ledger.
Illa. That all his storybooks, it has that, that concentric circles, where the expansion is, from me, mine, and then it comes to family, friends, and then society, and then nation, and then probably the entire world. Then it is the
self.
Yeah, the universal self, whatever we call it, Bhagwan, Brahman. Yeah. So it is the expansion. So only when the ego is thinned, so the more and more we go to the outer ones, importance, we are not centered. If the center is not this little ego there, yeah, the center is something higher. That the ego is pushed. It's ignored actually. We are being indifferent to it. The more and more and more it is not nourished. So that is Viveka in Adhyatma. When we say worldly, we go and put all our Paurusha in, say, getting something, go-getter, we say, no. The same thing can be turned towards this, so that the ego nourishing doesn't happen. So this is how I think many get their turning point. Many spiritual Mahatmas, if we look at their lives, their turning points are like that.
So here also, when you see Kaushika, largely he is coming from the space of ego still. He's doing activities. He's owning the child. See, all this when he's cursing the sons who have not accepted is not, it's coming from a space of that ego. Whatever actions he's doing based on what, and very important point that Bala brought up about that concentric circle of I, how to thin this ego. So now when we are talking about this ego, do I not do anything outside and I'm just sitting and doing work only for the inwards? No, that's not what we are talking about. But when you are constantly connected with the self, with the God, or knowing that this ego cannot do anything, it is only the divine that is doing through me, and that is there in constant remembrance in any activity that you are doing outside. It can become a karma yoga, it can become a bhakti yoga. Everything the divine is only doing. I am serving the divine by doing this. So then there is no ego. There is nothing that is nourishing the ego. The ego is fine, enough. My life is fine. However, whatever has to happen, I'll just flow with the divine. So even when we say now that concentric circle, I am there, I'm part of a family. The family is part of a community. The community is part of a city, a country. Probably then we are also part of nature. We are also part of the whatever Bala said, right? We are also part of the larger universe. In that way, when we see, we become very insignificant. We are like a speck of sand in a beach. We are like a drop of water in an ocean. When we look at it that way. But even when we start working towards a higher ideal, it can be that, so let's just take an example. Working for a higher ideal really works wonders. It is needed for each one of us. Instead of just saying what I like, what I want, what I need, what I want, what I like, what I don't like, instead of working under the circumference of the small circumference of just this, my desire, my this. If I just expand my vision a little. So I say I am sweeping the floor in my house. If I want to keep my house clean, I will sweep it, I will do everything, and I push all the dust outside. I'll go and put it on the road. Which happens a lot, right? Everybody, oh, my dustbin is full, so let me go and throw it on the road. Somebody will anyway come and clean it. Now, if this is because my house is limited to just this house. If I think my house is this community, then I will be responsible. I'll put it in the dustbin. I'll make sure I hand it over to the right people to be thrown. When my view of my house expands, now my actions will change. When my view of my house becomes, say, nature, oh, my all this, where will it go and get processed? How will it really be disposed of? Even though it is not in my sight, but what is happening? How will it be treated later? And what if it affects so many birds and animals and all that? So let me try and reduce the number of waste. Your actions as an individual changes based on what your home is, what you think is your vision of something. When I study, do I study just for myself? Do I study so that I can serve the country? When I parent, is this child here only to take care of his needs and his thing? Or am I raising the child to serve the nation, serve the society, be a responsible citizen in the society, be a responsible citizen in the country, be a responsible citizen to nature? So in every aspect, my individual action depends upon how expansive my vision is, how big I think. So there is an expansiveness in that insignificance. And then the action, and then when it is for the supreme, even in this worldly action, sometimes people can get caught. I'm raising my children. And I do only this. My children are like this. My children are like that. We may be doing the good job, but then it is all associated to this little ego. But when it is done more as a sense of service to the Lord, to the divine, knowing that everything, I am not the doer, I cannot be the doer, I have nothing, I do nothing, I am nothing. Whatever is happening is just happening through me. He has given this. This whole world is His. So there is a service to it. I'm just serving. This is just a service to the world. So the bigger view, the bigger vision is the connection with the Prakriti, and that service to the Lord is the connection with the divine Purusha within.
Yeah, that verse is very beautiful, no? Which usually they chant when sannyasis take the Bhiksha. Matacha Parvati Devi, Pita Devo Maheshwara, Bandhava Shiva Bhaktascha. All the friends are the bhaktas, basically, who have similar outlook. Swadeshe Bhuvanatrayam. Everything is mine. It is not in that possession thing. It is like that expansive, where this little ego is just not there only. That is the even before we eat food, when we remember this, we know how many I don't know what all life forces, so many things have come together for the food to come on that plate at that moment, right? So it is to live moment to moment to moment, remembering the Lord. Yeah, that is bhakti, that is karma, that is jnana. That's all.
And remembering the Lord is fasting on the eye.
Hmm?
Remembering the Lord and fasting on the eye.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the combination. That's all. Okay. So now he does severe tapas. He's still with his ego in the earlier one. He did what he did. He saved Shunashepa, and it's a great. So they have these levels, right? Raja Rishi, Rishi, Brahma Rishi. It's interesting. You want to read, Bala?
Kaushika's lapse. The Devas were worried about the tapas of Kaushika. Indra was afraid that his status as Indra might be in danger. So Kaushika is transcending his mind, maybe. He decided to disturb the tapas and he summoned to his presence Menaka, the Apsara of his court. He said, "You are the best among my Apsaras. I want your help. I will tell you what I want you to do." Kaushika is performing tapas and he is glowing like the noonday sun. So fierce is the tapas he has accumulated. If he does succeed, there is every danger of my being pushed out of my throne. I want you to go to his presence. He has all his senses under control, and with single mindedness, he is absorbed in meditation. With your beauty and with your winning ways, you should tempt him and make him succumb to the weakness which is in the heart of every man. Make him abandon his tapas, and I'll be pleased with you.
This is very common on the path of spiritual. Yeah. This mind, this Indra is the king of the mind. He's the king of all the senses, right? And what is the king of all the senses? I mean, he's the king of all the gods. Varuna, Agni, Surya, all of this, which are all responsible for the senses. So the king of senses is nothing but the mind. And this Indra, this mind, so Indra has two roles. Every now and then he will fall into his ego. And then he will realize and go run to Vishnu. Okay. So he will be, when everything is going very well, he will start enjoying all the sense objects and then he will fall. Right? So that is the role of Indians. So now this ego, Indra, is getting scared. Because they say there is a great fear that comes in when the ego has to die. The ego does not want to let go so easily. It does not want to let go of the world. We call it the fear of the unknown, call it a comfort zone, it may be whatever. It does not want to let go. It is a kind of last lap when the ego has to completely dissolve. This happens. So in here, Indra, so at that time, the mind will, yata drishti tata srishti kinds, it will throw some temptation, some sensuous temptation, sensory temptation. And that is what is happening here right now, because the mind does not want to lose control. You try, even in normal situations, when we are trying to take control of the mind, say, the ego, this is where you try to take control of it. If you don't seek the help of the Bhagavan in the heart, it's not easy to let go of that ego so easily. If you say, no, I should not think, I should not, then that ego will convince you. No, but you are right. If you don't talk, how will this person? So many, this is correct only. All the dharmic thoughts, all the scriptural thoughts, everything can come even for us, and we will feel justified. Yeah, we should say this. This is only right. It is all coming from the mind being in the mind. Because the mind never wants to lose control. The ego does not want to lose itself. The only way to lose the ego is to seek the divine.
That, in fact, recently it came up. Idle mind is devil's workshop, we say. So it is actually the statement of the mind to survive for its own survival. Yeah, it is that, because only as long as there are thoughts, this ego is there, right? And that thought generating machine is paused even for a while. Where is our ego? So idle mind, it is for its own survival. Such a statement is given by some mind. That's all. So it's nothing to.
We will use that and we will do Nama Japa.
That's it. We have to give it a beautiful example that Ramana Bhagavan says is just like, an elephant when it is just walking on a very narrow street with its trunk, it will, go and the trunk just goes and takes off a lot of things, right? If there is not enough space, it will disturb everything. So when the elephant walks like that, but you just give one small, wood stick or something in its trunk, it is just holding and it will go. There will be no disturbance created. That is what this Nama Japa, all these, focus, it does to the mind. You are giving it one anchor. Yeah? But it has to be a higher anchor. Something, I don't know if something is, by watching TV, that is also one pointed focus only. Yeah, right? But that is again nourishing the mind. That doesn't help. Okay, now I'm anchoring myself to this thing, something, I don't know. That and all doesn't help. It's only Bhagavan, like what Aarti said. The higher being within has to be holded on to. The same ego, just like that beautifully when she mentioned, the mind, Indra does two things. Either run away, either, go with the senses or surrender to the Lord. So who is surrendering to the Lord? It is this little ego only. Instead of making this ego, taste all that is outside, let it abide at his feet. This glorious being which is within. Then that is what Bhagavan says by let the mind abide in its source. It has arisen from him, let it abide in its source. That is yoga, he says. Uditta idattil udingirithal. From wherever it has arisen, let it go and abide there. This practice is yoga. Adu karmamum bhaktiyum undipara. Adu yoga jnanamum undipara. That is jnana yoga, that is karma yoga, that is bhakti yoga. He finished just in one statement. As simple. Ramana Bhagavan's, everything is very simple. We just need that paurusham, that will to continuously put all the energy. Take the inner being's blessing and put all the energy there, just like how Kaushika is doing, and keep doing. Even if we fall, it's okay. Yeah, ego will come, we fall. But again, we'll see Kaushika very beautifully continuing his tapas. This is the tapas.
We will fall. Also to know that we will fall.
Yes. We can't imagine we have already. It is.
But we seek inspiration from Kaushika that he's rising and he's continuing and he's perseverant. Okay.
Menaka was afraid to go. She said, Lord, I have been told that he's very powerful and that he is very quick-tempered. Think of the combination of these two qualities. My Lord, tapas and anger. How can I survive these? You are yourself afraid of him, and yet you want me to face him. He has cursed the sons of Vasishtha. He was a Kshatriya, and by his own efforts he has become a Brahmana. He has been like Brahma in creating a new heaven for the sake of King Trishanku. Such a powerful tapaswin will surely have gone beyond the sway of senses. How can I dare to go near him? What if he curses me? If you can assure me that he will not curse me, I will do what you ask me to. Send Manmatha and Vasanta with me. Make the wind, Mandanila, also to come with us. Under such pleasing conditions, which are always conducive to the act of love, I will try to tempt him. Continue.
Yeah, nothing. So these are all sensorially nice, right? That Manmatha, Vasanta with me, then Mandanila. That is the whatever wind.
Manda. Manda means tamas, no? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought
Or maybe spring. I don't know.
Maybe. Whatever. These are pleasing conditions around.
Yeah. When we are at home eating the food, home food, it's okay. You go out and see maybe pani puri,
Yeah.
or vada pav, right? When we are like that, that is when, especially if it is Ekadashi and we are fasting, that is when salivating, everything happens. Yeah, conducive.
On Ekadashi, mind is going. Other days you go out, you see, I first say no. And then the children will take something. Okay, one piece. Yeah. On other
And then
days,
our mind will come, okay, for their sake, let us
that is the mind.
It is the mind. That's it, yeah. This is all. Yeah. Menaka went down to earth, and in the neighborhood of the spot where Kaushika was, she spent her time waiting for the proper moment when she could make her appearance. Kaushika got up from his meditation and was moving about one day. Menaka thought that the chance she had been waiting for had come her way now, and she was not wrong. She walked around in the lovely spot where he was. Looking at her beautiful form and her winning ways, Kaushika was bewitched, and he succumbed to the temptation. 5 years passed, and another 5 years. He woke up suddenly from this dream one day. Dream. You want to say something or we continue, Arti?
No, this dream is a very powerful word.
Yeah.
See, basically, when you are with your mind, you are with a dream only. It is similar to what Janaka asks. Whenever we are in the mind, we are in the dream, because it is a dream which we see in the mind. We see the world also in the mind. It is only a dream. To see the reality, we have to go beyond the mind. The mind is making some story. It's like a movie. Memories, temptations, desires, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all of these are the script writers. And when we are living in the mind, through all of these, it is a dream world. To wake up from the dream, you have to move beyond the mind and be able to see it as a movie and take control, so that we can live in the Bhagwan script, not in my mind's script. We are mostly living in our mind script. My mind is so limited, and it is a dream. Dream is like a bubble, right? It will break anytime. Ashashvata, impermanent, transient. The world that I see in the mind is transient. The only permanent is when we move beyond the mind and we see, observe everything. Be an observer, become aware. Then you can see that it is only a dream. Then we have a choice of coming out of it. Now, after 5 years, sometimes we can go with it, certain things, without even knowing. It just takes us through. And then one fine day, what have I done with my life all these years, kind of thought will come. 5 years passed, another 5 years, which is what, 10 years. And he woke up suddenly from this dream one day. How beautifully that word dream has been used.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We must look up for this relevant shloka, I think. Maybe by next week I'll bring that. We need to contemplate. We need to, constantly see what is the difference between. Is there at all any difference between the dream, say yesterday night that came, and whatever happened during the waking state yesterday? You need to ask such questions and see, is there any difference? In the dream, as a dreamer, everything, the whole world springs, something comes. Say in the dream, if this Bhagavatam class is happening, yeah, in the dream, I take one form, yeah, all this form is there, computer form is there, yeah, and we read the same thing, Bhagavatam, right, all this. And now the same thing is happening. It is in the mind, right? I have no access to anything outside. It is in this mind that this computer is there, this body is there, all the participants, whatever, everything is there. It's all in the mind. It's a dream stuff. Just ask the question, a beautiful statement that I think Swami Vivekananda has told, which is slightly modified by Swami. He says, anything other than self is made of dream stuff. These are statements to be contemplated. You can't understand. It's not to be understood. It's to nididhyasana, to be meditated upon. Anything other than self is made of dream stuff. So, in Brahma Sutra also they say, it seems, that I don't know the sutra. Adi Shankara says, self alone is light. Everything else is darkness. That is why we have asatoma, satkamaya, tamasoma, jyotirgamaya. Move me from this mind. Mind is darkness. Mind is either the past memory, which is dream, or the future, imaginations, which is also a dream. And the mind concocts, the mind makes this world of people. Yeah. That is why my mental, whatever creation, is not the same as what maybe others have. I have no access to the other's existence or anything like that. So, everything else is darkness. True light is Bhagavan alone. Atman, you call it Atma, Paramatma, whatever. Tat, says Upanishads. Tat. That's all is the word given. So, dream is what it is. Many times we all wake up when the body falls.
That is a shloka there.
Huh? You found out?
There is a shloka in Bhagavad Gita. For those who are in the worldly, what is night for them is the day for those who have awakened.
Yeah, beautiful it is.
I have to remember that shloka. But
Chapter 2.
I can get it.
Sarva Bhutan. Wait.
I'll get it.
Sankhya Yoga. I think one of the last verses.
69, ma'am.
69, huh?
Yes. या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यो जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः. What is night for all being is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage.
Very beautiful. Perfect.
What is night? It is darkness. So to bring the similarity between dream and the waking state, I'll bring the Mandukya Upanishad here. The Mandukya Upanishad says, the shloka goes like this. Jagaritasthano bahishprajna saptanga eko navimshati mukha sthulabhug vaishvanara pratamah padaha. That is, Vaishvanara is the waking state in which who is conscious of external objects, who has 7 limbs. The 7 limbs are like the 5 Panchabhuta, the Panchabhuta, the mind and the intellect. And who experiences gross objects. And then Taijasa is the one who is observing the dream. When I am as the waking state, I am called Vaishvanara. When I am in the dream state is called Aham. I'm talking the Aham. Is called the Taijasa. Here what is there? What is there is consciousness of internal objects. And the same Panchabhuta and everything. What is the difference between the dream state and the waking state? What makes it external objects and internal objects? The seeing is happening, the hearing is happening, the tasting is happening, the feeling is happening. What is changing from external objects to internal objects or internal objects to external objects? What is it?
The boundary is the question.
Yes. What is it that differentiates us, our seeing of internal objects and external objects? What is it that is responsible to make what I'm seeing inside to be projected as outside? Anyone?
I don't know if I've got your question right. If you're asking what is it that makes me think inside outside, If that is the question, then the answer is when I think I am this body.
No, I am saying exactly when I am seeing. In my dream also I am seeing. In my waking state, I am seeing objects outside. What is it that is the difference between the seeing inside and the seeing outside?
No,
I use my sensory.
Exactly. That is all the difference. Everything is projected through the mind only. Everything is being projected on the screen of the consciousness, but it appears as though it is outside in the waking state.
Yeah.
Because the holes are open.
Correct.
At night, the holes are closed. The eye is closed and everything has receded in like a tortoise. And hence we only see things inside. It feels like we are seeing the inner objects. These are only holes at the end of the day, but otherwise, everything we see is only within, and hence whatever is in the waking state is also the dream state. Because when I close my eyes, I can bring up the object that is there in front of me even now.
See, what we do is we have identified ourselves so much with our sensory. Okay, unless we feel, see, touch, taste, and all our emotions are attached to the sensory. So that is how we feel the world as real. So that is what makes us feel this world as real. The moment it is taken away, and it becomes a dream, because in dream you might see a big feast, but you have not tasted it. You have not tasted it, so you do not know the thing. So that's why you call it as a dream, that I had gone to such and such a place, and actually you are not there. But
Correct.
if you think you have gone to Mount Everest or Mount Kailash or whatever it is, you've used your senses to experience that. So that is what makes you feel real.
Yes.
Makes the world feel real. But to be centered and to see that why they are saying that though we are seeing it and perceiving it as real, yet we are calling that as Maya. Okay, we are saying that that is not what it is. That is not identified as our self. Our self is something beyond that, beyond those senses. So it is very difficult to identify. So I think that is where we need to bring in the silence and the thing that we talk about, the moment and this particular moment and being in the moment is where you can capture that self. Otherwise, it is impossible for us to even fathom, because we are always relating something, our experiences to the past, and based on their experiences we project our experiences of the future.
Correct.
I don't know.
One more thing, Annapurna ji, is though we say that we are the sensory, it is all feeling. When I eat something, I taste. The baker, that from Mandukya Upanishad, she was saying, the baker says that right now. Okay. In the dream, now I have woken up from the dream. So I don't know, but in the dream, it feels so real for the dreamer.
Yeah, exactly.
This point is to bring out that there is no difference between the two.
If you see that the sensory things that are provided to us to feel, see, taste, touch, and everything is a wide. Any of those senses are not functional. Let's say some impediment has happened. Okay, you are so handicapped. Okay, just imagine if your vision is blurred or your taste buds are not working. In COVID, we all felt that. The people who got COVID could not taste, could not smell for so many days. I could not smell for so many days. That's where when I realized that I could not, I was putting the mogra, the mallige hua into my nose, and still I was not getting any smell. So, I mean, it unnerves me that when my senses are not responding to what experiences I have. So it is a vital thing for us to, for our functional living, but we extend it and combine it and make it so complex that we attached stories to that. That story building is what makes us dysfunctional, or giving all kinds of this thing. So people who are living, if you see that there are certain people who do not, I mean, it doesn't perturb them so much. Some incident has happened. You see how the reactions of the different people are different. He said, did you get so upset with that such a small thing? He said, you are so upset, but that person is not so affected, because it did not affect him as much as it did to me. So it's just the play of that story, and what Ramana says, or what any of these things say, is that you have to bring in that, yes, that is an experience, but bring in stillness over there. You have that experience, you bring in that moment over there. Yes, this is what I felt this moment. That's it. Don't build the story around it, which will decenter you from that. I mean, that is what that is what is slight understanding of all these satsangs have made me feel that. I mean, it's just that we keep on building stories. It's just somebody made a mistake. Yes, we all know to err is human, right? So, but we build story on that. Oh, he did that because because blah blah blah, and we build a story around it. If you just take it that it was a mistake, okay, it's done, finished, and you carry on. You don't you that event, even though our senses are involved in that, it does not affect us, and it helps us to be in the center. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if I
Wonderful.
made any sense.
We would not give so much importance to the sensory perception.
Exactly.
Also, if
Exactly.
slowly the identity with the body weakens. The
Yes.
root cause of everything is, why do we see the difference between the dream and the waking? Is because of this body.
I'll give you a very, very small, very
Yeah.
simple, silly example. I'll tell you. See, recently I went to Mexico. Okay. So I visited Mexico, and the place was simply exotic and beautiful sunset. Okay. We stayed there for nearly 4 or 5 days or something like that. And every day the sun was rising, and every day, and you see beautiful sunset over there. Okay, one day we happened to go from that place to some other place where they said that you can see the sunset very beautifully over there. Okay, and due to traffic or something like that happened, and then we just missed it. We just missed the thing, and it was so disappointing. All of us got so upset with that thing. And the next morning when I woke up, and the next evening I saw the same beautiful sunset. We do not, that momentary disappointment overtook the pleasure of enjoying the sunset.
Yeah.
So and you certainly know that you can see the sunset the very next day, and you will be experiencing and your memory of what you have not seen the previous day is faded already, because it is overlapped with the new experience that is then it is exactly on the screen that one image replaces the other, and it's a fast moving film. I mean, cinema which is going on. It's just the drama that's going on. But are we living and experiencing and being centered in that drama that is happening around us? Are we centered at that point? And there's a one word, that Sanyama. They say having the Sanyama in that, the balance of that mind or whatever it is. And it is very difficult.
Got one question here though, which is coming up. Where did it start? I liked the sunset. I wanted to, then next day I saw the sunset every day. Then one day I drove and I see the sunset again. I'm coming. And then when I was late, I was disappointed and that covered the sunset. What is the veil here? Have you identified which part of it? Where did the veil really start?
Exactly. It began with me only, right? So it's
Not
just
me.
No, one desire, no?
Yeah,
That was
sensory
coming up for
desire that became a craving. I liked that sunset so much. It is a sensorially pleasurable thing.
yeah,
And
exactly.
then now I want to see it every day.
I want to see a better view.
Better view.
Something, I don't know, our own
It is a
imagination.
sensorial pleasure
Exactly.
that I am craving for. It became a craving. And that craving led to disappointment when we were not able to see.
Exactly.
Isn't
Exactly.
it? It starts
Yeah.
like that. It starts
Yeah.
with a
It's
small
a
like which
chain.
develops into craving.
Yeah, it's a chain. It's a chain. You need to break that chain. That's what I'm saying. That you need to just truncate that chain and then be in that moment and see whatever, and it is beautiful. And that is the day I experience that after the sunset, the light that is scattered in the sky is so beautiful. That is after the sunset, you will
Yeah.
see for a long time, you will see different kinds of colors and whatever it is. You should be patient. The moment sun goes down, people leave from that place.
Leave.
So it is, I mean, that's what it is all the time. Constantly we need to, and good experiences, we want it to last forever. And the bad experiences, we want to truncate it at that. It doesn't have a time frame like that. It takes its own time to.
Even there's nothing like a good or a bad experience.
Yeah.
That
Exactly.
perception of a good or a bad, painful or pleasurable
Exactly.
itself is coming from the
Exactly.
aham, the
Yeah.
I.
Exactly. Yeah.
The mind measures. That is there, no, in Mandukya Upanishad, Karthi.
Yeah. And then
The mind is the one which measures. Cuts the Brahma.
I do not know how to still it or whatever it is, but just that awareness that this is what is the story builder, and it is so unreal. Is what is the awareness that we need to get into that zone of awareness. That's all I feel.
And once we get into this zone of awareness, we know the story of our wonderful World Cup winning, the blind women's team, visually impaired women's team who have won the World Cup.
Exactly. Yeah.
It is not dependent on the senses. It is
Exactly.
just, you are not the senses. You are beyond it.
You are not the
Accordingly,
senses.
they have changed the cricket match and people are playing. So you are wondering, they are throwing the ball, they are fielding, they are catching, they are doing, and they are visually impaired. They put some metallic balls inside the ball so they can hear it, and they can hear it from so far. This person is correctly aiming and holding it like this.
Exactly. Yeah. See, I can, I don't know whether we have time. I can share a very small experience of mine when I was a teacher. There was a visually impaired child in our school, and she had to use the braille to write her whatever stuff. We went for a field trip, and it was a garden. It was a park or something like that. And we saw a beautiful bloom of flowers and other things. And we were all saying, okay, this is whatever it is. So the child also went, and while coming back, she was fast asleep on my lap. And then the next exercise was just write down what you saw in that park or whatever you saw in that field trip. And that girl in Braille had written, I saw beautiful roses and red roses and white roses, and there was a park and there was a pond and there was some swan. Everything she's described. she gave that paper to us, and the braille got transcribed by to the this thing. When I read that, I was quite surprised as to how she is writing that I saw. Then I called her and I said that, what did you do? Can you read what you have written? Then she read the thing in her this thing, and I said that, did you really see? Yes, she said, yes, I saw everything.
Mm.
And I said that, and I said, can you draw? What she could even draw, whatever. And she drew. She used the correct colors. Sun was yellow, and the sky was blue, and trees were green, and so it's exactly, you don't need. I mean, we think that we are limited to that particular sense. It was a revelation for me that how a visually impaired child can perceive that whole thing as a normal person does. We think that we can do better than them. Completely defeated in that. So this is, I mean, that's what it is. So it's very difficult for all of us who are whatever, using all our senses and perceiving the world the way it is, to think that it is unreal. So all Upanishads and everywhere it is that the world is Maya and this is unreal and this is what we are listening. It's very difficult for us to fathom with all those things with our senses, I guess. It's beyond senses. The story is beyond. Yeah.
Wonderful.
More and more one is with that which is the source of all this, which is beyond the sense, beyond the mind, then we will know that it's not that difficult. Right? The sensory
Yes.
realm is.
Yeah, we use the senses, and that's with the senses only we learn to appreciate. We appreciate a dish by tasting. We appreciate a thing by
That is in the
seeing.
waking state through the body, no, Annapurna ji?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but that also takes you to a realm, right? When you are hearing a beautiful shloka, it transforms you from one place to another. So you need these instruments to be able to reach that realm. And then once you are in that
Oh,
realm,
no. We have to give up these two. Maybe we
yeah,
can
exactly,
contemplate more on this sometime. We
exactly,
don't.
yeah.
These, yeah.
Yeah, you make a beautiful dress, but you don't know that the machine did that, right? The sewing machine did the job of stitching your dress.
Mm.
So, but we don't remember the sewing machine when we are wearing a beautiful dress,
Mm.
isn't it? So it's just but without the machine, you would never be able to have done that beautiful dress. So we need to drop it like the sewing machine and be able to. Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe
Sensory
think and
pleasures, it's
contemplate about
okay.
it.
What happens if the dress didn't come beautiful, right? As long as we are with the sensory pressures, we are with the gratitude in the world, that is one level at which we can try not for the I to come up,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
But as long as we are still in the sensory pleasures in some way, the I will come up. When we say a beautiful dress, it is with the sensory. There is that moment, even a Zen story is there. That moment when I say this flower is beautiful, we are not even talking about our creation, we are talking about God's creation. Even that moment, when we say this flower is beautiful, it has gone in the past.
Mhm.
It is only a sensorial wave,
Mm.
and it has passed.
Being in the now is not being in this sensorial. That's not now, right? It is now is not okay. I am now with here in this with this body in this sensorial plane. That is not now. It's already past.
We are
This is
not,
more of a contemplation thing. I think we will maybe
yeah. It needs deeper contemplation. We are not saying you should not say this thing is beautiful
Yeah.
or it is not. But what we need to watch is the pride that comes with it, if it is coming, or with a sense of wow, I did it. I just
Or,
need to watch that.
yes, the other thing is it reinforces our raga.
Just
are
be
moving
aware
towards
that we are
darkness.
reinforcing a raga here.
Raga. Darkness is not needed for the light. We are moving more to the darkness. When we say body is needed to experience, no. In this world, the sensory, whatever, this body is there, it is the power of nature. When I superimpose body on me, that is when mind is born.
When I'm saying body is needed to experience the world, body is needed to serve the world.
Serve, and body is there in the world.
It is there. Yeah, it is a
nothing to do
vehicle
with
for
the
us
inner
to
self.
move in this world, to do our karma according to the leela of the divine. That's all.
See, that is how
yeah,
that is how you see, right? Whether it was Ramana Maharshi or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, both of them suffered. Bodily, they suffered so much. But they were not perturbed with that.
they were not with their body. That's what
They
I'm
were
saying.
not
The
clearly with their
ideal
body.
Jivan Muktas, ideal that Upanishads
Yeah.
give is the true
Yeah,
existence
exactly.
has not connected with the body at all.
Body at all. Yes.
Yeah, there is no body is the statement of Ramana Bhagavan.
Yeah.
But there are stages in this. But
Yes.
there is a stage.
That's all. Ramana Bhagavan's, Ramakrishna Paramahamsas are completely established in.
Yeah, exactly.
For an onlooker, we see a body. So because I am still identified with this body, I see Bhagavan also as one body. This is his statement. He says, you are still looking at me as this body. I am not this body. There is no body for him. So it is so basically the point is in Atma Vidya, it is to that stillness that Annapurna ji you were saying, we feel only when this, in that stillness, there is no body, no mind. That's all. Even now that stillness is there, but in that stillness, mind is there, body is there. Even the dream world is there, waking world is there.
Even when I'm observing that beautiful flower, that beautiful sunrise, I am not turned, my eyes may be open, but not turned outwards, but with the stillness within.
Yeah. No thoughts there, that is stillness.
Yeah.
That's all.
I have told, oh wow, what a beautiful sunset. One like has come that can lead to craving.
Yeah. Mind has come.
Mind has come there. And it will start holding on. It will start feeling powerful. First, our Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mata, Matsarya, we will come. This is all that. And then we, it's stages and stages.
Bala, I just want to, see, it is, you can't resist that thought of that, oh, wow, what a beautiful sunset, okay? But it, the very next moment, it is arising from the ego, I, or whatever it is. But at that moment, if you are aware that, yes, it is
that is all we need.
Coming out, it is coming that, but this is not what it is. Yeah, you should be aware. And that awareness, in as often or as frequently you bring it into your cognizance, that cognizance again is mind, in your awareness, that is where you will observe or experience or feel that stillness.
No, Annapurna ji, let me make it simpler. Though we are running out of time, I would like to share see, It is not cognizant. We cannot keep awareness, all that. It is what you are saying is, say, a beautiful sunrise is there.
Hmm.
What has come? That is why we say in bhakti, that is Shakti. That is the power of the Lord. The thought,
Yeah.
every vritti is the divine mother there. Yeah, so there
Mm.
is no ego there. A
Mm.
beautiful sunrise. That's all. That moment, it is there is no separate ego. The seeing, the power of seeing, the sunrise, the seer, everything is the same. It is happening at the same time. And then it is
Mm.
over. There is no lingering of that again.
Exactly.
So the mind is not born. Understand? So that is why they say divinize everything means moment. Okay, the body senses something is there, the mind, So the ego thoughts do not arise there.
Mm.
Yeah, it is the ego only
Yeah,
when
you
the
don't
lingering happens.
when you see the sunset and that beautiful waves and ocean roaring, you
That's
don't want to think about anything else,
that's
like
it.
you just
It
want
is
to,
the divine expression. It is the
yes, you
glory
just
of the
want to,
divine.
you want to be in that moment. You don't want anybody talking to you and saying
Correct.
things and whatever it is, right? So
That's
that's the moment that you need to kind of experience or whatever,
That's it's
like
over,
that.
then the next moment. That's it. There is
Yeah,
no
the next moment.
lingering
Yeah,
in that.
exactly. Yeah.
That's all.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Bala, I just had a question for you, personal one. So I don't know, can I call you or text you about it?
Yeah,
But
please.
Aarti. I mean,
Aye.
Aarti takes this thing, right? So Aarti, I had a question. Can I text you or something? Or
Yeah,
how is
please
it?
do. Please do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Close the session. Om Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhavet Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Thank you, Aarti. Thank you, Bala.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Aarti ji,
Yes, Rajat.